Good afternoon and welcome to Fingal Bay Oval for what is stage 2 of this weekend's Bar TV Newcastle and Hunter Community Rugby League Match of the Rounds. We're coming to you from Fingal Bay Oval for the double header between Fingal Bay and Dora Creek. The ladies' version of that match will start in about 60 seconds and we've got the men's kicking off at 3 o'clock. I'm joined in commentary today by none other than Fingal Bay legend John Gutherson. How are you, John?
Good, thanks, mate, and welcome to everybody.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Well, we'll go through the team list in a moment. The teams, or Dora Creek in any case, are just running out now, followed by the Fingal Bay side. We're expecting a big crowd. Top of the table clash, mate. What do you think of the main game?
I think hopefully our Fingal Bay boys will stick it to them in the middle and contain their backline from sort of running. They've been racking up a few big scores lately, so hopefully we can contain that this week. And
in the ladies' tag?
I haven't seen much of the ladies' tag, but hopefully it's going to be a good game and played in the right spirit.
Yeah, hear to that. As I said, we'll go through the team list in a moment, but two combatants who have been in A grade since their inception, or Dora Creek a year before Fingal Bay, but both sides have been in A grade for the whole period of their participation in this competition. So hats off to them. Referees are just going through their paces out in the middle. We'll just go through the team list for both sides. The home side, starting with Fingal Bay. Number 1 is Brianna Robinson, 2 Leah Phelps, 3 is Jordan Bennett, 4 Lydia McQueen, 6 is Marnie Parfitt, 7 is her sister Grace Parfitt, 8 Elise Scully, 9 Rebecca Hawthorne, 10 Carly Pittman, 11 Misty Sayers, 12 Victoria Hawthorne, 13 Phoebe McCabe, 14 Paige Monan, 15 Kaya Eastlake, and 16 Chloe McDowell. For Dora Creek, number 2 Emily Walkham, number 5 Amy Beresford, number 6 Angelica Lee, number 7 Alex Quigg, 8 is Madison Sturman, 12 is presumably her sister Lisa Sturman, 13 Georgia Bragg, 14 Melanie Roche, 16 Kaya Smith, 19 Caitlin Saxby, and 20 Ruby Flaherty, 22 Kath Howard, and 26 Tanae O'Brien. Well, the referee's still going through their paces out there. They look like they're getting set to play now. What's your crowd's been like here, John? You're a regular at the ground.
Yeah, they were a bit slow earlier in the year, but I think we're expecting a big one today. We usually get quite a few here watching the game. They sort of rock in about half time of this game, and then it just gets bigger to kick off.
Yeah, like we said, top of the table clash in the men's game. The sides here, Fingal Bay certainly doing well. Had a close loss to Aberglasslyn in round 1. Have done pretty well since. Dora Creek dropped a couple of players from last year's squad, but have still been performing reasonably, and they're middle of the table in A grade. I expect a fairly competitive game here as referee Marcello Laguna waves kick off. Straight away we've got I was going to say a knock on, but the referee said play on. Dora Creek run it out. It's tag about 25 metres out, so we might do some semi-regular interviews during the day, John. Both of us are fairly inexperienced as far as the commentary side of things go, but we might grab a couple of players at various stages during the afternoon and from both clubs and run them through their paces, see what they're like on the microphone. Have you got any thoughts on who might be a good suggestion?
Yeah, probably our lock, Betty Snyder. He's one of the demon tacklers that we have. He chops them down all the time, low. He's probably going to be a key to a lot of our success today. If he can tackle them down early and stop their go forward, we should be pretty well on the way. I'll get Benny over here maybe if you want to, Dave.
I think that'd be a good idea, and I have to say it's a shame both of my sons running the line today that aren't here with me. Ben Snyder is their number 1 NHCRL player. They'll be jealous of me conducting the interview in their absence. We've got Ben coming over. He's not really dressed for the occasion just at the moment, but how are you, mate?
Yeah, a little bit nervous, mate, as always for a game, but just waiting for the kick-off, Once that happens, it's all on, go on.
Is that nervous because you're doing the interview or you're doing the game, or both?
Bit of both, yeah. The games I never used to, but now I'm getting a bit older. I get a bit nervous for games, but like I said, as soon as the ball's kicked off, all off and I'm into it.
A couple of minutes of Benny, he won't stop talking.
Well, and I did say in Ben's absence that my sons are both pretty big fans since the Harker Oval Grand Final, and I think it was 2016 where you got Player of the Match. Fond memories of that day, mate?
Yeah, the Harker one, the first one that we got, first grand final for the Bombies, it was pretty big for the town and all the players really. It was a good day, I'll never forget it. Yeah, it's unreal.
Yeah, I thought Fingal Bay might have been fairly heavy that night. I spoke to your then president, or in fact he's still your president, Richie that day, and he was pretty excited. I think, and we'll get him on the microphone shortly, but I think that excitement extends to this day. He's a very excitable human being.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He's very passionate and all that. He's a funny bloke. But we didn't come home for a few days, that's for sure. It was good for the town and the club.
So what's your thoughts on today, mate? Top of the table clash. 4 games undefeated for both teams. You give yourself obviously every chance. Who do you see as the danger players if you're aware in the Dora Creek side?
I don't know. I haven't really seen them play yet and all that. I've been away the first couple of matches and all that. I know they're going to be a fast, quick, well-drilled side. I feel like when we played them last year to get into the grand final, we're just up in their face and we shut them down, and I reckon that's got to be our game plan. But I've heard there's a few good players there, so it'll be a good test for us to see where we're at in this season, because we've been winning pretty comfortably, but it'll be good to see how we are against a top side like them.
Yeah, as Dora Creek make a break up to the 40, it's the games are primarily down on their half just at the moment. We're a little way away from the play here at the moment, and my eyes not being what they were, and I disclosed that last night. I can't actually see the player numbers particularly well, but we'll do our best during the course of the day. Mate, just they've had a couple of big wins, obviously, and you mentioned it, Dora Creek, but so have you guys. I was actually at your game at Shortland last week, where they gave it to you for a little while, but you ran away with it in the end. You're obviously expecting a much tougher encounter today.
Yeah, that's right. We played a bit sloppy ourselves and all that, and we got hammered at training. But we know we're going to be a lot better than that to take Dora out. But I don't know. I'm giving us a chance for sure. But it's going to be a good match to watch, anyways.
All right, mate, we'll let you go and get prepared for the game. You're, like I said, you're not quite looking the part at the moment, but I'm sure in about half hour's time you will be. So the best of luck, mate. And I hope you guys, for your sake, come away with a win.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks very much. I'm just going to hand you over to our co-commentator very, very shortly for a couple of minutes. We've only got the one microphone today, which is going to make it a little bit difficult for us, but I'll hand you over to John Gutherson for a couple of minutes, and I'll source the next interview.
Thanks, Dave. Oh, yeah, great. Yeah, the Fingal Bay are on the attack at the moment. Bit of a kick through to the fullback from Dora. Knock on there from Fingal, so it should be a Dora Creek feed here. Oh, it's play the ball, sorry. Dora Creek running out from dummy half. Touched about 30 metres out from the try line. Through Dora Creek's, made a break, but just got the tag just in time. It's a third, referee calls third. Dora Creek still moving through on the attack. Well touched, made about 20 metres so far. Touch, and she's through. The Dora Creek girl is through here. Comes to the Fingal fullback and she's touched. Referee calls last tackle. Kick through from Dora Creek. Rolls dead in goal. Out for a 22 tap. Fingal tap the ball forward here to Marnie Parfitt. Come back the short side. Touch two, second touch is there. Goes back up the short side. Another touch, I think that's Lydia McQueen from Fingal. No dummy half. Ooh, bad mistake from Fingal there. No dummy half. Dora Creek, touch there for the first. Going through, ooh, nearly through, but tags on the ground. Back to the play of the ball. Dora Creek scoot across field, pick up the inside runner. She's got through, good touch there by Fingal. The third, I think that would be. Back up the short side again. Another good touch from Fingal. Through the hands. Keep peppering this short side, the Dora Creek girls. There's a late pass, forward pass, calls the referee. Fingal Bay to play the ball. Fingal out for the first tackle. Probably 25 metres out from their own try line. Goes through the hands. Switch back the side here. Marnie Parfitt, one of the faster, quicker girls from Fingal. Pass back to the inside. Another touch. Back to the halfway line. Last tackle, changeover. There we go, Dora Creek out for the first tackle, and she's broken through. No fullback at home, so Dora Creek will score under the post. Number 13, Georgia Bragg. Sorry to her. Good try there, straight through. No one at home.
That's right, scored by number 13, Georgia Bragg. Dora Creek 4, Fingal 0.
The goal kicker was Kyana Smith. By the looks of it, the 16 for Dora after that good try. So there she goes. She's brought it out about 12, 10, even a bit further.
Yeah, relatively early try to the Swampies, as they tend to call themselves. They've got a kick from in front, and that makes a score 4. You would think, although I put the commentator's curse on somebody last night. There you go. Good decision by the two touch judges, who both happen to be my sons, as they run back to a 6-point lead to the Swampies. As I said earlier on, been a regular in the competition since its inception, Dora Creek. They haven't quite progressed to the back end of the season in terms of grand final appearances yet. They've always been there or thereabouts. In fact, I think they've been beaten the week before each week of the or each year, sorry, of the last 4 years. So hopefully they can push one better this year and make it to the GF. If I can just give, whilst I have the microphone, a wrap to a very loyal Fingal Bay long-term supporter, 95-year-old William Parfitt, who's unable to make the game today, and he's at home and will be watching it at some point, presumably today. He's the grandfather of both Marnie and Grace Parfitt, and wearing the 6 and 7 for Fingal Bay today. So, yeah, good on you, mate. Hope you're having a good one. Hope your health's well, and hope your girls do you proud today. As the Dora Creek side earn themselves a penalty. And the referee's just giving a warning to the Fingal Bay unit. I'm not quite sure what that was for, but doesn't look like they're going to take a tap. John's saying hands in the ruck. It's a somewhat confusing game at times, Ladies League tag, in terms of the rules. They're obviously somewhat different to your regular rugby league games because of the nature of the game. But having been up close with several of games and of varying standards, the contact is much more physical than what it appears. And which is not surprising. You see a lot of girls who aren't experienced players come away with injuries. That's a good tag by the Fingal Bay right side centre. Yeah, it's a very physical game, but one that's been a real success so far in this competition. We had 0 teams. We started in 2016, and we've built that up to 18 teams this year, and we expect that to grow further. Of course, we've got ladies tackles on top of that, which has grown to 7 teams in 2019. So the women's aspect of our game has really kicked off in the last 2 or 3 years. John, what's it done for the Fingal Club?
It's been good for the Fingal Club, Dave. We've got the girls in. There's been a bit of a turnover. A lot of the girls hadn't played much before when they first came, but with a bit of coaching and a bit of guidance, they've sort of learnt the game and are going pretty well. It's probably brought a whole new aspect to our supporters too. Like a few of the girls bring their friends and family along, which adds to the atmosphere in the crowd later on in the day as well. So all in all, I think it's been good for our club.
Yeah, thanks. Well, it was the intention of the competition today to promote this as the Fingal Bay Family Fun Day and have jumping castles, but unfortunately the ground wasn't suitable for it in terms of providing one here. And then, of course, it's about -3 degrees and with a wind chill factor of making it about -10, so I'm not sure it would have been a real suitable day for it anyway. But in any case, there's plenty of kids running around here. There's which I wasn't aware, a nice little play gym for the kids just to our right, which I'm sure the club utilises pretty well. As a youngster, I straddled these grounds quite regularly, having a holiday house about 150 metres away from where we stand right now. So it holds a very special place in my heart, the Fingal Bay area. We just saw a kick from the Fingal Bay side go dead, so a 7 tackle set to Dora Creek. They're now on tackle 1, running it out. That's Amy Beresford, I think, took that ball up and looks to have dropped it in the play the ball. So the crowd gives a warm round of applause to a change in possession. And this will be Fingal Bay's first real attacking opportunity in the last few minutes. So let's see what they've got. They do have some numbers out here, but they've put the ball down themselves. So unfortunately, good decision by the referee. Johnny on the spot, and a turnover again ensures. Number of girls this Dora Creek side that double up and play tackles. Of course, Georgia Bragg, very accomplished ladies tackles player. So we see a loose pass from dummy half. Lisa Sturman makes a short run to the right, makes about 10 metres for the Dora Creek side, and they go that way again. It's a pretty good facility up here, mate. I think you've done some renovations over the last 12 months or so. I think from recollection, I saw some improvements up to the area in which we're standing now. Can you tell us what's been done?
Yeah, mate, we've had an awning out here for quite a while, but the boys have sort of re-roofed it, and we got some seats from the Olympic Stadium down in Sydney and made it a bit more comfortable for the spectators out of the rain, out of the sun. Change rooms, we sort of gave them a bit of liquor paint and a few new seats in there as well. Then we've built sort of out the back a club room for the ladies and the boys now to enjoy after a game and after training. Usually on Thursday nights, we have Muzz, who's the president, secretary. He sort of cooks up a barbie or a feed for the boys and girls every Thursday, a couple of beers and watch the footy. And it's a good little setup out there now, which makes it more enjoyable for them to hang around after the game and keep them all together.
Yeah, I did notice there was a nice little, well, I've only been in one of the rooms so far, but I presume they're the same in both, a nice little lounge area out the back. And I was invited to a post-game drink today, actually, but unfortunately being so far away from home and having to drive, I'd had to knock that back. But apparently it's a regular custom with the Fingal Bay side that if the men's side wins 3 games in a row, I think the keg's put on. And as I understand it, this is they've already won 4 with last week, and this, if they win it today, will be 5. But as I understand it, that celebration will be made today, regardless of the result. So, but a win, that said, would be very handy.
Yeah, win makes the beer taste better. But yeah, it's always been a tradition here. We win 3 games in a row. We get a keg in the shed for the boys. They have a shower or don't have a shower, whatever they want to do. They sit around, have a bit of a talk and a laugh, a bit of music, and into the keg, which makes it good for the fellas and good for supporters too. They seem to like it and cheer the boys on when they know they're getting the keg as well.
Yeah, well, why wouldn't you? Now the Fingal Bay side again have kicked dead, so be another 7 tackle set to Dora Creek. Probably got about 5 minutes to go. We don't have a timepiece here, so I'm going off my own watch, but I'd say somewhere in the vicinity of 5 to 6 minutes to go in the half, which has been pretty even so far as the referee finds an infringement again from the Fingal Bay side. Seems to be a little bit of dissent to that decision from, I think it was Victoria Hawthorn from the Fingal Bay side that offered a little bit of opposition to that decision. But as in all sport, the referee's decision is final. That's 22, Kath Howard's just taken a ruck up. Here's Amy Beresford out of dummy half. Slings it along to Lisa Sturman. There's Sturman again out of dummy half. She looks quite speedy and
Play sort of runs off her, I think. She sort of scoots across the field and sort of picks up the runners, so I think she might be one to watch in the second half as well.
Yeah, it certainly appears that way in the first 15 or 20 minutes of this game. It looks like they rely on her a little bit for those attacking plays, particularly out on the right. As we go to the kick, that's a decent set. Fingal Bay just struggling to get on top of that one, but they've managed to do that and tag one about 3 or 4 metres out in the left-hand side of the field as we look at it now. So that's pretty much where Dora Creek want them, and that's a nice tag again. So they're under a little bit of pressure here, the Bay.
Stuck in this corner now. They've got to work their way out here just before half time. I don't think they can afford another try. I think they might struggle to get out of there if they get another try, but hopefully they can get out of here with not a mistake and get up the other end.
Yeah, it's been interesting to watch the development of the ladies tag competition. The first year, which was obviously a first year for everyone, there'd probably be some experience in OzTag, but as far as the actual competition itself, as we see a break through the Bay's Brianna Robinson, she's taken on tackle 5, just short of the halfway. There's a screaming for the ball to be spread, but it's kicked and knocked on. So the Bay have got a good result out of that. I think more by luck than good fortune, than good management, I should say. But a result is a result. Fingal Bay will play the ball about 35 yards out. And with about 3 or 4 minutes to go, it would be a particularly handy time to score as number 7, Grace Parfitt, makes a quick dart out of dummy half.
Wind's picked up though too. Fingal's running into the wind here at the moment, so a try here and maybe come home with the second half with the wind might help the girls out as well.
Yeah, it was funny. If it's the same as last night at Dudley Oval, the wind was a very swirling one. It ended up, it looked like it was favouring one team in the first half and then the other swirled around. But a terrific game of football, by the way, in A-grade last night between Dudley and Windale, just on other issues. But we see Fingal on tackle 4 go to the right. There's a few numbers here, but she's straight through, and she's been tagged by her opposite number. That's Grace Parfitt, or Marnie Parfitt, sorry. Actually, I think I got it right in the first time. Grace Parfitt. So many sisters here. I'm not sure where he's... he seems to have called it out to... Well, I'm not sure The referee's standing on the 30, but they're looking at playing it on the 10, so I'm not sure that those two things can sit together, but they're wandering out to the 20 now. It looks like to the centre of the 20, so obviously there was an in-goal infringement of some sort from the Bay. How are you seeing this unfold in the second half, mate?
Well, like I said before, if Fingal can sort of hold on at the moment, going at 6 behind, it's probably a pretty good result with that win coming up at the moment. But I'd have to look out for the 12 there, which was Lisa. Yeah, Lisa Sternum. Yeah, she looks to be where, like I said before, all the play sort of revolves around her. So I think they have to keep an eye on her and watch her runners. But our girls are sort of hanging in there, which is good. So as long as they can hang till half time, maybe get a breather, come home with the win, anything can happen.
Yeah, of course, went to Aberglasslyn, who are the undefeated leaders at the moment in round one, Fingal Bay, and had a fairly narrow loss. Aberglasslyn being the strongest team in the competition for the last couple of years now, having won the grand final and obviously lead this year. So that result, I thought, on the face of it at the time, put them in pretty good stead for the season. And their results have been pretty good ever since then. So I expect, as we see, a knockback called by the referee. I think that result would suggest that they'll handle themselves quite adequately for the remainder of the year. It's a shortened A grade with only 6 sides, with the addition of 3 teams this year. We went from 8-team competitions to 3 6s to try and level the playing talent out a little bit. Whether or not that will work ultimately will remain to be seen, but that's where we're at the moment. It's actually a 5-team A grade now, with the Wobbegook going down on Monday night after the regrade meeting. But we've now got Fingal Bay playing it about 45 metres out. And that's Marnie Parfitt again that's just taken the ball up there, I think. We see a kick. The kick could come into play here in both games. And you just mentioned a moment ago, Gutho, that wind, it really played a part last night, and I expect with 2 pretty big packs of forwards today, and the intent to turn those players around as we see a break from the Dora Creek side. I think that's the 13. That's Georgia Bragg, the player I mentioned a moment ago. Great chase, but. That's Georgia goes in for a second try. That one was a little bit longer than the first, and she's looking like she's blowing a little bit too. But as I said a little while earlier in the program, she's got some good form in the tackles aspect of the game too, and obviously got a little bit of pace. Once she got a little bit of a cider there, just put the foot down, away she went.
Yeah, Fingal just caught a bit short with numbers there, and just good play from sort of Dora. It wasn't too much involved with it, just took the numbers on and off she went. She had the pace to finish it.
And that's a crucial thing. It sounds obvious, but the numbers game in ladies tag is it's because there's only 11 on field. There's obviously a little bit more space, and the teams that have the capacity to use that spatial advantage are usually the ones that progress, and we've obviously got Aberglasslyn, I mentioned it a moment ago, who are going pretty well and have done historically in this competition, are particularly good exponents of that, use the ball very well. They've had a long-term halfback, Ash Harvey, who's out injured at the moment, but a very good player, and has directed that side around well. As we see half-time, the kick was unsuccessful, so we'll go into halfway. We'll take a short break. With Dora Creek 10 leading Fingal Bay 0. We'll be back in a moment.
There you go, boys. Just commentating. Top of the table clash between Dora Creek and Fingal Bay nominees. We'd just like to thank Fingal Bay sponsors today, folks. Shell Bay Country Club, Fingal Bay Service Station, Mark Stoddard Building and Maintenance, Salamander Village Butchery, GRT Building Supply, Jagger Pest Controls, Rio Tech, Shore Plumbing and Drainage, VSE Electrical, Great White Landscaping, Adrian Books TV and Satellite Services, Pro Artwork Signage, Annabay Sand and Earth Moving, Blue Water Stainless Steel, GJ Morgan's Kitchens, Ascon Concreting, Southall Tiling, Longboat Cafe, Blue Water Paintless Dent Removal. Just remember folks, it's, we have a no glass policy around the oval. Please, if you've got any glass, take it up to the drinks and they will swap you for a plastic cup. And there's also no smoking in the area. If you want to have a smoke, you go to the car park and have a fag. Just like to also thank a couple of people. 3 of our girls trialled for the Northern Rangers OzTag rep sides. Grace Parfitt, Brianna Robson and Victoria Hawthorne all made the team and will compete at the national titles at Coffs Harbour in November. Great work, those 3 ladies.
I imagine there will be. I'd imagine there'll probably be a fair few flock in the next half
value
hour.
of $100 hamper. Tickets are just $2 each or $3 to $5, and it's drawn half time of the men's game. So if you'd like a ticket in the Mother's Day hamper, go see them at the drink store and grab yourself a ticket. That'll be in.
You want to do that?
I've asked my boss what he wants to do.
Okay.
Because I feel like we'll be okay for the girls.
That's that'll be all right. That's all.
They call me now. What?
Welcome back to the second half of Fingal Bay versus Dora Creek Ladies League Tag for what was the Fingal Bay Family Fun Day, which has just become Fingal Bay Fun Day with some families around. We've got a score currently of 10-0 to the visitors, Dora Creek, after 2 tries to Georgia Bragg. Yeah, a lot of work to do for Fingal Bay, Gutho, to get back into it.
Yeah, they sure do, mate. Hopefully they can start well this second half and kick on from that, give them a bit of confidence and get an early try, and then we're back in the game.
Yeah, certain. They look likely, but they just haven't really had probably that last pass. And I know that's a little cliched, but it's probably been their problem. I think they've bombed probably 2 tries that they had distinct opportunities, which obviously would have put them either well and truly in the game or possibly even in front. So we'll see what they've got. Although they've just dropped the ball through Jordan Bennett now, and so Dora Creek will take possession about 30 out from the Fingal Bay line. They really can't afford them to score here.
No, that was a bad mistake coming out of the half. Third tackle, I think. It's always a no-no, but it's got to defend this one out and hopefully get the ball back, get up the other end as quick as they can, I think.
Yeah, well, they've got plenty of time. Only just kicked off, so here goes Sturman again, who's probably been the danger player for Dora Creek. Her and Georgia Bragg have probably been the pick as the referee spots an infringement of some sort. I think he's just asking her to play the ball again. Sturman will play it to Amy Beresford as they swing it out to the left, taken about 30 metres out on tackle on tag 3. Here's Lisa Sturman, who could not look less like her sister, but has been a fairly handy player as well. In fact, that's Kaya Smith. My apologies to the Sturman sisters. So we see Fingal Bay working it out from a kick now, 20 metres out. Little dart to the right by Rebecca Hawthorne. And the referee's found another infringement to the attacking side this time, so Dora Creek will get possession in that mark about 30 out. Centre field, they keep shooting themselves in the foot, Gutho.
Yeah, I'm not sure of that rule though. I've never played it before, so I'm not really up with the tag, but I think you might have to, as soon as you get tagged, you must have to stop, pick your tag up and go back. It's a bit like overrunning the mark when you play the ball, I'd say. I'm just guessing on that one, but yeah, it sort of hurt them, but it looks like they got the ball back here. Dora Creek's gone into touch.
Yeah, I think the referee's ruled a changeover, so yeah, unfortunately I can't clarify that rule for you either. Whilst I have done my referee's course, the ladies' league tag aspect of it is not overtly familiar to me, and in fact some of these referees are specifically qualified. Marcello, being the referee in this game, is one of them, obviously, to referee these games, and hence their more extensive knowledge of the rules. As we see a Fingal Bay break straight up the middle, still going. I think that's Brianna Robinson.
Yeah, she's been likely.
Yeah, she has. Very small, very nippy. That's a nice run. Again, they go to the right, and here goes that girl Robinson again. Nice short pass, and well tagged. Go that way again. I'm not sure.
Linda McQueen, I think it is.
Yes, it is. Made a short break to the right on the last. I think we'll probably see it kicked out to this side again, which is what we saw last time. And yeah, that's taken on the in goal, and I think that is the same result as your standard game. You get a 7 tackle set from the 20. Yeah, probably just a couple of metres short, mate. Really needed to keep that one in play.
Yeah, just keep it in. Just probably 5 metres in from the try line would have helped. Maybe a mistake, 6 again, but anyway, here they go on the attack again, Dora Creek.
Here's that player Sturman again, taken by Grace Parfitt on about the 30 metre line. Here's Smith, runs to the left. Tags missed, still going. Got a very Johnny Gibbs style, running style. If for those older viewers might remember Johnny Gibbs, old Manly stalwart. Not one of my favourite players in the day, being a Canterbury supporter as a kid, but he was a good player. There you go, Sturman again, straight through to the left. She's going to be difficult to hold down from there. Fullback to beat, and the fullback does a wonderful job. That's Brianna Robinson again, who's been pretty strong for the Bay.
It's probably been our best, I'd say. Robinson at fullback for Fingal.
Well, that was probably a little adventurous, that kick. Didn't get a great result either. Probably needed to keep that one in play. That's Fingal's turn now with a 7 tackle set. They don't look in any great hurry to get the game going, but they are the ones that are behind. So probably need to get a move on as Robinson wanders up to the 20-metre line and takes the tap. Actually, I think that's perfect. They look very similar from here. That was Robinson at dummy half. Swung it out to the left for McBride, I think it is. It's a nice run from Hawthorn there, who's shown good feet a couple of times now. Good hands too. There's a nice dummy on the inside, or the outside it was. Oh, that's a great ball on the inside. And here goes that girl. She's taking on the outside. That's Robinson, and she will score.
Good try. Set up by Phoebe, which is our coach, Bo Earl. That's his partner, Phoebe. Good inside pass, and well backed up on the inside. Just a bit too much pace to get through there.
Yeah, good footy. That's we've seen that play in the old Cronk Smith Slater days. We saw that play quite a few times. It brought them and Queensland plenty of success. On this particular occasion, it's got the Fingal Bay Ladies League tag back in the game. 10-4 kick to come.
Maybe that's going to be the play. Maybe play them back on the inside. Take the markers out, the inside ball. Maybe that's where Fingal can look at to maybe get a few more yards and get up the other end a bit better.
Well, it certainly worked on that occasion, and from what I can tell in my limited sightings of either of these two teams this year, but young Robinson at the back for Fingal Bay, get her the ball, please. She's very dynamic, very quick, and a pretty good mover when she's got the ball. So obviously we saw that then. Ran away quite easily for that try, and yeah, as I said, got Fingal right into the game.
The wind's getting a bit stronger here too behind Fingal, so maybe that in the back end of the game that might help the girls out. Hopefully.
Yeah, we're a little protected here, so we probably aren't getting the brunt of it. It's we're in a little enclosed area, or fairly large enclosed area actually here, so we're not really getting the worst of it. But I came from Salamander Bay prior to here, where I'm watching some junior games, and the wind was very, very strong, and that's a wonderful kick for goal into the breeze too. So that makes the score 10-6. That was Marnie Parfitt taking that shot at goal, who's also been very strong. That's the Brianna Robinson clone from 100 metres away. They look very similar. Both very similar builds and similar style haircuts as far as I can tell. But as I said, my eyes are probably failing me. Yours might be slightly better than mine, and you know the girls. But
I know a few of them, not all of them, but I know a few of them. But that sort of puts us back 10-6. So hopefully the girls get a good set out of here, get up the other end with a good kick, and anything can happen from there, hopefully.
Absolutely, and yeah, we've seen plenty of games. Oh, well, it's just sport, isn't it? When you get that 2-try or 2-goal lead in soccer, and sometimes it's the fatal lead. Teams so often fall apart once they get there. We'll see straight away. It's a strong run back from the Fingal Bay side. That's play 1 on 35 metres out, so already in good field position.
Yeah, great field position. I think that showed the wind off that kick-off. It sort of didn't go as deep as it probably should have, so it worked in Fingal's favour there.
And straight away, Phoebe McBride again, that dummy on the outside. She does look very sharp with the ball in hand. I'd probably be looking for that same play that we saw the try from run again here before too much longer.
Yeah. Dora Creek look a bit short on their left-hand side. Our right-hand side's pretty stacked deep, so I think the girls come the wrong way here, but could be proved wrong.
As we see McBride again take a kick through. Hasn't been taken. Oh, it's been taken by the Bay. And I think that's a try. Referee is going to the rear. He's checking with his touch judges. It looks good from here. It is a try. That is 10-all. And I think it was that girl again. Young Brianna Robinson, as the ground announcer confirms our suspicions that Brianna Robinson's got her second. So well done to her, and once again it was the McBride-Robinson show, a kick through from McBride into open space, a pretty favourable bounce, but just failed to clean it up. The Dora Creek side, they just let it hang around there for just a little bit longer, and Robinson swooped, and that is exactly what we were talking about a moment ago. The 2-try lead can quite often be that curse. Where do you see it going from here, mate?
Well, they should get this goal to make it 12-10, and like so, hopefully before that win sort of build up a bit. The kick didn't go as deep. Fingal capitalised and got up the other end. As we speak, she's slotted it through, so 12-10 to Fingal. It's got to play a bit of percentage now and get up the other end and wait for mistakes, and hopefully they can hold on now.
Yeah, well, certainly been a different dynamic to the game in the first 7 or 8 minutes of the second half. We saw Dora Creek really dominate, even though Fingal Bay had their moments, but Dora Creek really dominated that first half, and the scoreline suggested that, but it's just been, or they've been snapped back into reality in the first few minutes of the second, and Fingal Bay take what appeared an unlikely lead 5 or 6 minutes ago, but they're looking pretty handy now.
Yeah, they've had a lot of ball in the second half. They starved Dora of the ball, which is sort of maybe working in their favour, wearing them out a bit. They might be gassed a bit, the Dora Creek girls, and with the wind behind us, the girls could come home here.
Well, they don't look like they've got a lot of subs, either Dora Creek. Unlimited subs, of course, at club football for ladies league tag, but from my difficult vantage position as Fingal Bay hand over the ball on tackle 2, which has put Dora Creek in reasonably good field position. Lisa Sturman will play the ball. Take the first hit up through Georgia Bragg. There's those 2 danger players again. Got Amy Beresford at dummy half. She's given it to that girl Sturman, who will look to pass and has not. Well, she's got away with that one. That was a pretty ordinary pass, and it found the ground. But thankfully for Dora Creek, it went backwards and not into a Fingal Bay hand. As Emily Walcombe, I think it is, on that far side of the field, takes a tag. Well, she looks a mile offside there. The referees let that one go. Here they go again, swinging it out to the right. Well, that's... well...
That's Georgia Brack again. She's looking dangerous.
Yeah, she's been good with the ball, although I'm not... I have to defer to the referee on that one due to my lack of knowledge of the rules, quite frankly. So,
I think it's more if they run off the mark after the tag's been done, by the look of a few of the penalties, but can be corrected if it's not right.
Well, we haven't got the capacity to check the Facebook page today to see what comments are being made. I'm sure they're all very, very favourable ones on the commentary basis. But if anyone out there can clarify that rule, and I'm sure there's plenty of people, please do so. And for anyone out there, let us know where you are watching from too. If you're outside the area, we're always interested. We've had people from as far away as England and Spain, I think. That have made comments at various times during the year. So if you're from afar and you're watching, please give us a holler. As the Fingal Bay side go to this left again, they look to have the numbers here. Dora Creek, which they do. Last tackle, they'll probably go to the right here, and almost on the same blade of grass with which the kick for the last try was completed. But they've gone to the left-hand side of the field on this occasion. That is a good result for the home team. Looked like Kaya Smith probably didn't need to play at that. It looked like it was going dead. A little difficult from here to know exactly where the dead ball line is, but either way, it's Fingal Bay's ball. Well, no, they've gone to a dropout, which I've.
Local knowledge there. The fence is pretty close to the sideline there. It's probably only 5 metres off that edge there, so it's a bit short of that dead ball.
Yeah, okay, there you go. There's a long-term resident of Fingal Bay Oval, John Gutherson, who's given us some dimensional advice on. Well, I think they've gone through there, have they? No. Referees ruled a knock on. That was it's probably an opportunity lost for Fingal Bay on tackle 2. So we're going to go out to the 20. Dora Creek with a 7 tackle set. John, I might hand over to you for a couple of minutes, and I'll source our second interview for the day.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Dave, for that. Like we said, Dora Creek here will tap off, come through off their own try line. It's from the dummy half. It's gone one pass off the ruck with a bit of a cutout. to the number 19 for Dora Creek. I'm not quite sure of her name, but it was a good run and a good tag to finish it off from Fingal. Ref's pulled the game up here again for some reason. I'm not too sure what this is. I'll change over, a penalty. He's jumped on the spot, so whatever that means, that penalty, that's a Fingal Bay ball. Which come in probably the right time for Fingal at the moment. They're under a bit of pressure there. So Fingal move it out, one off the ruck to the left. Strong run there by the 9. Come here, Phoebe McDade again on the outside there, playing the ball. Fingal moving again, working their way to the right. One off the ruck. Probably made about 30 metres in this set so far, which is good. They sort of look the most likely in the second half at the moment too. They're going well. Last tackle. See what this does. Maybe through the hands might be a better option here. But they've decided to kick. Ooh, it's a knock on, I'd say. Fingal's picked it up and I think the referee will call a knock on here, I'd say. I'll pass back to Dave. He has another interview for you.
Yeah, thanks, John. I think that's a handover and Dora Creek ball, it looks like, from what I can tell. But I've got with me now another special guest from the Fingal Bay Club, long-term president Richie Pease. How are you, Richie?
Good, thanks, mate. Good, great, thank you.
Mate, thanks for having us up here. It's a wonderful Saturday afternoon. I said earlier in the commentary I haven't been to Fingal Bay Oval since probably I was about 15. We had a holiday house very close by here. It's wonderful to be back. Mate, it's a great venue and a good crowd.
Yeah, mate, it's going to be a good crowd today, and it's great to have you here, there, Dave. So it should be a good day.
Mate, I remember talking to you, and we had Ben Snyder here on the microphone a little earlier in the day, but I remember talking to you at Harker Oval on a Saturday afternoon in September 2016. I think you were in tears when your boys won the grand final that day. You've got pretty fond recollections of that?
Always. I think that's one of the moments that I'll probably cherish for the rest of my life, and another great story to tell my kids and my grandkids. It's one of those things that we've been working very hard, and I think definitely tears will streaming down my face that day. I can tell you that much.
And mate, it's great to see the emotion in local clubs. It's a prior to taking over this role, I didn't really understand the emotion involved at this level of football, but it's something I'm very proud to be a part of now, and it's to meet guys like yourself and pretty much everyone that runs their respective clubs. They do a wonderful job. Now, something matter at hand today, mate. You're 4 from 4. Where do you see you for the rest of the year?
Well, it's a hard one to say, mate, because Dora Creek is going to give us a bit of a run for our money, but both great teams are meeting up today with this battle, clash of the Titans, actually, so hopefully we'll get on top today. So.
Well, you're right. It's mate, 4 from 4 for both of you. You're both the only undefeated teams in the top division, and without going through the other grades, I don't know there's too many others that are undefeated in all of our divisions. I know Aberglasslyn and Tag are, but I think they'd probably be the only one off the top of my head. So to be undefeated in A grade at this point of the season in itself is a pretty good effort. Hopefully you're very competitive. It's a big Dora Creek side. We've seen them warm up. Your side probably not so much. Do you give yourself a chance in terms of mobility rather than size?
Yeah, mobility. I think as long as we carry on with our strategy that we've been going with the last 3-4 games, I think we should get there on top. So, most credit to both teams. And at the end of the day, hopefully both teams will have a good game today, and that's all I can ask for. So.
All right, one final question, mate. I know you've got to get back to your barbecue, but you're doing a wonderful job over there too. Smells terrific. But, mate, the ladies tag team that we're seeing run around now in a pretty close encounter with Dora Creek, actually, what's that brought to your team? Well, what's that brought to your club, I should say?
It's actually brought us a lot actually, especially when the community's backing our girls. They're loving the fact that we do have a girls team. We're promoting the game, the sport, the love of the game, and I think everyone's getting behind us. So that's the most thing that we could ever ask for, is that the community is back behind us since we've actually introduced the game to the ladies and to the sport as well. So happy.
Awesome. Thanks very much, mate. As I said, I'll let you get back to your barbie. I'll wander over for a steak sanger at some point. But, mate, thanks very much for your time, and thanks very much for having us here today.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, back to the game. We've got the Fingal Bay side now, spreading it to the right with what appears to be Brianna Robinson. Now they're coming back to the left. I think the score, unless John, I've missed the try, is still 12 points to 10.
Yeah, still 12-10.
And with Fingal Bay on the last tackle, head to that spot. There's that. There's a good kick from McBride. There's that girl Robinson. She's gone to her right. She's got a little bit of space. Has she got the legs? I don't know. The referee has gone to the in goal. The touch judge has gone to the in goal, which suggests to me it will probably be a try. He's looking at the other one, and yes, it is. There's 3 on the trot to the Fingal Bay side, which now makes it 16-10, kick to come, and we'd probably be closing in on 20 minutes now. John?
There wouldn't be long to go. Like we said before, played here for a few years, and that wind does play a part in the second half, and like we said earlier, it favoured Fingal in the second half, and it looks like they have actually worn them down, which is a good thing to do.
Yeah, we've seen the kick now twice have a pretty good result for Fingal Bay, and I suggest that is highly likely that'll play a part in the main game too. As I said before, from our perspective, we're undercover, and obviously from the viewer's perspective, you can't really tell how strong the breeze is. But if you look at the trees on the probably the northern end of the side, probably the northern end of the field gives it away the most. They're bending back quite significantly. So
girls' tags, look at the girls' tags on their shorts. They're sort of blowing back pretty strongly too, which is showing how strong it is.
Yeah, so pretty strong from the south at this point, as we see that kick taken and the touch judges wave it away. That kick is unsuccessful. So I've got a score of 16 points to 10. Again, I haven't got a timepiece in front of me, but I'd suggest we've got somewhere in the vicinity of 4 minutes to go. So Dora Creek probably need a result. 2 minutes to go, I'm just told by the timekeepers. So Dora Creek probably need a result fairly quickly here, although I must say they don't look in any great hurry to kick off. But I think Fingal Bay would be quite happy to let them take as long as they want. There's a big gap on Fingal Bay's right-hand side currently, which if Dora Creek were able to see it, would probably give them an opportunity to achieve the ball back. But it looks like they're just going to kick deep, which they do. Kaya Smith. I think a standard ladies tackle set would probably take about 50 to 60 seconds. So if they play out this set, and that's a good dummy again. She looks a good prospect, and I'm not sure whether she plays any other form of the game. The name isn't immediately familiar to me, but she certainly looks like she's got the skill set to do so. As they swing the ball to the right again, then there's a bit of space out there too. If they manage to get it away, they probably inclined to play it a little bit safe. That was Grace Parfer taking the tag right on halfway. They swing back to the left. It's a nice ball, and there's that pass again. There was no one in position on that occasion, and I think that's Phoebe. It was Phoebe McBride that. Yep.
Good kick here, should finish the game off, I'd say.
Yep, there's a nice. She's got a good bounce too, regardless of the result from here.
Wind strength there. That ball just flew over the dead ball line there. So second half, it's come up strong. So in the main game, I'd say it might play a part in the game.
Yep, I'd say with about 60 seconds or less to go, this will be the last set of the game now. And Dora Creek, probably the most dangerous player for them, Lisa Sturman, will take the tap. I'd imagine she will try and put something on from the tap or very shortly thereafter, because time's running out. I'm not sure whether they're aware of the position of the timepiece, but we'd expect the hooter to go probably in the next 30 seconds or so as she scoots out to the left. They find a little bit of space, but they're quickly closed down by the Fingal Bay side. They've conducted that play pretty well, actually. And there is full time. The referee will not allow that play, so he has blown full time. So congratulations to the Dora, or to the Fingal Bay side, the home side today, who takes stage one of the Fingal Bay Family Fun Day. 16 points to 10. Well done.
Hopefully that's a sign of things to come for the later in the day. That's one. Hopefully we get the second one. It'll be a good night at Fingal.
Yeah, well, as I indicated earlier on, John, probably a rather parochial Fingal Bay supporter, which was quite understandable bearing in mind his roots. So has one foot firmly entrenched in that camp. But well done to the ladies. That was a pretty good game of football all up. We'll take a short break and we'll be back in a couple of minutes for the kick-off in the men's.